Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission to order. First order of business is approval of minutes of last month's meeting.
I motion we accept the minutes as written.
I have a motion.
A second.
I have a second. Any objection to unanimous approval? None. Minutes stand approved as read. Okay, looks like, do we have someone in the audience that would like to speak to us? Okay, if you'll come up to the mic and say your name and what's your purpose?
Well, thanks for having me. I was just told maybe I'm not in the right spot, but maybe you guys could just give me a little bit of guidance of what area of the city I should be talking to. So my name's Rachel Stadlin. My address, I live on Mary Lane. It's right across the street from the high school. And I'm here mostly because just wondering more about parks and residential parks in the neighborhoods. So I'm a new mom, love being in North Liberty. I've lived here several years, want to grow our family here. Just have noticed in our area, as you guys know, is being very highly developed and just very little. I think the closest park to us actually is Penn Meadows, which is about 1.5 miles away. And so wondering if this has been discussed, like in these new developments of residential parks and green space where kids can like bike or we can walk that is accessible and safe. And so that's mostly why I'm here, is just to kind of see if that's been talked about or where I could go to further that discussion.
Is that something you can respond to?
Brian, the best person to talk to would be Ryan Rusnick. He's our planning person here. We do have master plans, but it probably doesn't go that far now that everything's developing that direction. But we always are looking for new property, and when they approve developments, I know they're looking. Ryan Rusnick, he'd be the person because he's the one who oversees the developments.
Sure. When
they're first coming and they present to him. He'd probably be the best person to talk to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just even like compared to like Tiffin and Iowa City, I just feel like in general we don't have as many parks. And you guys, if that's something I'm misspeaking on, it just feels like in general, like neighborhood parks, like in Iowa City, you can pretty much,
right,
like within a 1/2 mile, get to a park and take your kid there. And here it's very difficult with these busy roads. I know they're developing some smaller trails to get things that are more, but I just took, my daughter, 8-month-old up to Penn Meadows, and there wasn't even like a swing set there. I'm just like, okay, like just things that like are actually with these new young families that are all coming and living here. I just feel like it's something that should be like addressed, of trying to get more areas that families can find accessibility to.
Yeah.
We appreciate your concern, and I think what Guy is saying in the master plan, once a park was developed or approved, then the role of this organization, would be to discuss how to develop, develop the land and all, but they have nothing to do with the acquisition.
Agreements that they make with developers.
Yeah.
Is that city council or Ryan?
Ryan.
They have a planning and zoning commission.
Planning and zoning.
That's where it begins.
Okay.
And then once they have a plan they want to present, then it comes to city council.
Okay, great.
But one thing I would tell you, so we'll just pretend like we're not looking at any of that, but this is a really great place to start. So I don't want to discourage you from not bringing things or saying what you want. And then the question is going to the next person and then go to city council and then just keep saying it, because obviously, parks are a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm just kind of new to the community and just kind of want to know what the plan is and everybody's stance on it. So it's important, I think, to me and my family. And so thank you for the resource, and I'll reach out to him and appreciate your time.
Your comments will be recorded in our minutes, so other people will see that.
Okay.
Just a little bit background there. So last few days there was a post about this, and followed by lots of comments in the North Liberty Moms group that has several thousand residents. So and it's been a while that people are concerning that it's developing too fast, like our North Liberty, and lots of houses are built, and lots of trees and park areas are being taken. Yeah, just want to provide some background, and please, and I encourage you that let the city council know, be aware of our concern.
Yeah. Very good.
Is
And
there,
you can go to the city council. You can, I mean, it's an open forum like this. They're very nice people and they're very receptive. And, I would encourage you to get involved in, the city, volunteer, do, you know what I mean? That's how your voice gets heard and people listen. So for sure, do it. It's a great thing. I have grandkids, so I understand.
One other suggestion is we do have a Parks Master Plan.
Right.
So I would
But
look for that.
it's been a few years
Yeah.
on that.
But that does kind of gave an overview as the city was developing where some of the vacant spots and what we're trying to, when these developments come to our attention, is there a chance to get any type of green space is always what we're looking for,
Yeah.
but there is no guarantee or we're always getting the pond or
Right.
the water feature versus land,
Yeah.
et
And
cetera.
that's
So
what we
We
have in our neighborhood is a
would have to
pond,
pay-
which,
there's a pond there.
Fair market value for the property.
sure.
But the park plan, I mean, I think is another thing it does show some of those circles of, neighborhood parks that we have how it encompasses the city itself and what are our lacking points, I guess.
Yeah, I saw the map that's actually
Okay.
up there now, and it's really not super up to date. It's
to date?
several years old. But if you see where I live, like there's literally like nothing there
Right,
except for Penn Meadows, and so
Yeah.
it's just interesting from a bird's eye view to see the areas that could potentially be developed into having.
I can certainly, have a discussion with Ryan.
Yeah, and I'm
maybe he
happy to
knows
reach
something
out.
that I don't. I mean, he would know something before I would. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe we can get that
but we can bring it
map
up to him.
Yeah.
updated to,
Update the map.
Yep,
Yeah.
if it's feasible, if we do have
Yeah.
anything that
Yeah.
we know that is green space out that direction or whatever. so.
Yeah, we'll pass along what we can and would encourage you or others in your
Yeah.
community to bring it up to
Great.
other parts of the city.
Okay.
But we'll do what we can.
Okay. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Coming.
I'm gonna stay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Stick around. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the update on the splash pad. And that's,
All right, I sent a couple photos of renderings of what it's going to look like. We did receive 7 bids, and the low responsible bid that was awarded to was Conlon Construction out of Dubuque, Iowa. That bid was $2.4 million, which it came in under what the estimate was going to be. So we were able to do an alternate 1 and alternate 2 with those were included. So the alternate 1 was additional parking along the road and some additional landscaping that's going to go along with it. So it ranged from the low at 2.4 and the high at 3.4. So it was a pretty good range. But we feel confident Conlon Construction will do a very good job. We've heard good reviews back from other places. Let's see, what else do I want to say? Any questions on that?
Now, does that also include the bathroom or is that separate?
Yep, that includes
Okay.
the mechanical restrooms, the splash pad, which I think is about 5,700 square feet, but there's actually more square footage when you include the whole
Okay.
pad and everything around it.
And can I ask, on the bathroom, will that be just one? Will it be like the Hy-Vee Center?
No, I don't think so.
Unisex, you mean, or?
Yeah. So
No.
you know how
There's
they,
there's 2 on each side of the building, 2 bathrooms on each side, but
Yep.
what's in each of them?
Yeah, they're not
remember.
the all user, I don't think.
and there will be a place to change diapers and stuff like that in those bathrooms.
I believe so.
And one of them is actually a changing area for adult
Oh, good.
as well.
Okay.
I know one of the bathrooms on each side will have an adult
Okay.
changing station or whatever you want to call it.
Has there been any discussion about having a mother's room? I know there's restrooms, but having a kind of a proper mother's room at that
They're like
location
to nurse. And,
for nursing or,
Yeah, I don't-
At that site.
at that
no.
site, I
I think,
so.
I forget the
Well, the Hy-Vee
requirements are a
center,
sink of,
Nursing.
yeah.
I
you
suppose
need
the
a
Hy-Vee
sink, it
Center, they
needs a
could use.
lock, that
Lactation.
kind of thing.
Potentially maybe the Hy-Vee
Rooms would be
Center.
big.
I didn't know if the Hy-Vee Center had that.
I mean, they don't have a designated
The
Yeah.
spot, no.
outside restrooms at the Hy-Vee Center will always be open, and those are single-use
stalls
the
and there'd be a sink.
Ivy Center, yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody ask about that, just,
Right.
you know, a lot of young families and moms still nursing and.
But anyway, construction should begin roughly, mid-spring here, and we'll go for about a year. I'm hoping May of next year or so, it's going to be close to being open.
This might be too early to ask. Will the restrooms open year-round? The reason I ask is because the Solon splash pad, the restroom attached to it, don't open during winter. Like when we go for a run, it's not open, it's closed. But it's maybe too early to ask.
That building will not be heated, so it's going to have to be winterized. The splash pad building, is that the one you're talking about?
So they won't be open.
No, it will not.
Restrooms.
But there'll be a restroom at the Hy-Vee Center.
At the Hy-Vee Center, that
okay.
outside
Yeah.
restroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Because there will be a restroom at that park all year round.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I understood.
Yep.
Yep.
There is a website, there's a link on the website where Nick presented last week a series of upgrades, and there's a whole show or whatever of about the splash pad on there.
Okay.
He explained the dimensions and everything
Sure.
on that. That was last week. I happened to sit on that. Thanks for Guy for sharing. I think it is, as I understand, you said this work this spring and stuff, but definitely not open till 27.
Right, so the very first portion of this construction is the building, the mechanical room, restroom facility. So we're going to keep the footprint small, just because of Blues Barbecue. That's going to be in July, and then after that event is over, then we're going to broaden out into the rest of where we're going to do the features and the plumbing and all that. So we're going to try to keep the footprint fairly small right now until Blues Barbecue is over.
And a little bit of explanation on the cost. It's because of filtration. You want to explain how the water?
Yeah, it's not fresh to waste like the one at Penn Meadows. This one is going to be treated water. It's going to be recirculating. So the water will be treated basically like a pool would be treated.
So it's not going
And
to
that's
be like
based
the
on
one
the
at,
size
it's
of a
not gonna be
splash
like-
pad determines if it's recycling or just
interesting.
off to waste. So the small size of Penn Meadows is why that just goes to waste, but because of the size on its
So it'll
Centennial part, it
recirculate
has to be.
Right,
Oh.
and
Have
have
to be
the
treated.
pool
but
chemicals
it's
in it.
treated,
Yeah.
so when the water comes back out, it's.
Yeah,
Right,
Clean sentence.
yep,
like I said, similar to pool
similar to
Yeah.
a pool.
filtration,
Okay.
it will be,
right.
it's just no deep water, I guess you would, it's all spray water versus deep water. But it's kind of the same concept as like the pool.
And it will have to be
Circulation.
tested the
Yeah.
same way as a pool is
Testing.
tested, water chemistry.
Who's
Interesting.
Parks and Rec Aquatics monitoring that, or are you're monitoring that?
We're going to recommend combination
Combination.
of aquatics, since we already have the expertise, but then also maybe get, I know, I was thinking Josh, our facilities manager, new position, since he kind of sometimes is out at Centennial Park, like his office, I guess you would call it. Maybe get in, if he wants that training, that'd be great to have secondary individuals, because again, during the summer is when we need all our aquatic staff on hand at the pool versus out there. But I think it'd be a good combination between Parks and Rec to help. Because like we don't do anything with the waste one. You guys do all the work on the
Yeah,
Penn Meadows one. So
That's because
it'd
it's
be nice-
not treated.
Right,
You have to be
right.
certified somewhat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so none of us are certified
right. But
currently.
it's pretty. When we opened the pools, all of
Yeah.
us 5 supervisors were all trained. I know Mark is also, I think, got his CPO. So
Okay.
we've all gone through it. Myself, I know I'm elapsed now, but Brian, you still have your elapsed too. But again, at the time when we had the pools, we had all the supervisors do the training. So it's something that can be done. And then especially with Ashley's knowledge to pass on to anybody, we can get that certification for whomever we decide that can help, because, Ashley needs vacation too and all that. So we'll have to figure that out on who all has it.
We have a year to think about it.
Yeah. You say
Certified.
increased parking, how's that going to work? Where's the parking?
The side parking along the road that goes around, you see those little chunks of the brick we're going to keep adding on to those within that stretch. So it gives
Which is
more
the
side parking.
east side of the
East side, yeah. East side.
of the park is where the
Oh.
additional parking will go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how big is this? 3 times, 4 times of the Penn Meadows?
Oh, it's bigger. It's like 8 times bigger.
8 times bigger. Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's only 1,000 up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are multiple buttons.
There'll
And
be
you can
activation buttons.
activate, okay.
Yes, this run on an activation button. We're also looking at, I'm not sure, but budget-wise, but I'm looking at a weather warning system out there. It's called Weather. So it's just something we're looking into. So it would actually shut the water off if there's lightning within, let's say, 10 miles. You can program it to whatever you want.
Program it to
That's
do it.
neat.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just because it's going to be unmanned.
Yeah,
It
since
will
there's
be
no
unmanned.
staff going to be
My
out
worry
there.
is that people are not going to leave.
Yeah.
Windstorms, yeah.
Yep, but this will
That
give
is a
an
good
audible
idea.
warning, like they'll explain why it's closing, there's lightning in the area.
Yeah.
And then it will, 30 minutes after the last lightning strike, it will
Turn
activate
back
again.
on. Yeah.
But it's very expensive, but I think it's something that's going to be very beneficial for at that facility.
Yeah.
Things we don't think of, but after today, we're storm conscious again.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Kidding.
When you say expensive, what is that?
There's a pretty good annual fee.
I didn't look at the information yet,
It's
so I
probably around 20 grand a year just for the subscription.
Oh, it's a subscription.
Sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, getting it set up to begin with, there's some costs there too. I mean, so the first initial is pretty expensive. I'm also contemplating it possibly at Penn Meadows at the sports complex during tournaments, things like that. But more importantly, out here at the splash pad, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as popular as that'll be.
Yeah.
And things, yeah.
One other question, and we may have talked about this, forgive me, but the splash pad, what's the lighting situation? Is this a daylight use
Yep.
thing only, right?
Yes.
It's not like there's nighttime lighting?
No.
Just,
We
okay.
had talked about that, but determined that really the park closes at 10, okay?
So-
In the middle of summer, it's light until
9.
9. So the cost
Okay.
of adding this lighting system, was it really beneficial? Probably not.
Okay.
So we left that out.
Okay. And what keeps people from coming like at midnight and messing around with
It's
it?
programmed. It will not be
all-
active. That button will not be active at a
So
certain
when
time.
you
Just
say
like
that shuts off, it's that,
Yeah.
okay, got
Yep.
it.
Just like our tennis court now, that button, you push the button, the lights will come on, but they will
has
not until
programmed hours?
that program time
Got it.
allows it to be active.
Okay. Not that I was going there at midnight.
No, I totally get it, because I could see that being a
Yeah,
fun spot.
yeah.
Penn Meadows is the same way.
Same
now
way.
it kicks on at 7 and at 10 o'clock it won't come on
won't come
anymore.
on.
Yep.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Small comment here.
Everything-
So I'm looking at a seating area around the splash pad. So I see some very decent seating area. Just want to make sure when it's built, please leave enough seating for the parents, waiting parents.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And grandparents.
Yes.
Right. We have a lot of furniture that we're ordering. You see a lot of seat wall rock around it. That's, you can
That
sit
helps.
on
You
that
can
as
sit
well.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like at Penn Meadows, where there's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are great.
And we're also trying to use a lot of grass space between the splash pad and the existing playground because we think a lot of people will be using both areas. And so the grass area, they can throw their blanket down on the grass and be able to see both
Yeah,
play
so
areas.
when this was in design, we did consider that, what Shelley just said, the playground versus the splash pad and where parents might be seating if they have kids at the playground versus at the splash pad, that they can kind of see both at the same time.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. Now, something just came to my mind. Is there any regulation whether if like food trucks and ice cream trucks and stuff come out there and park?
They have to have
when
a
we're-
permit.
They're supposed to have as long as they have a permit. you
Right.
know. I can see that being with a large congregation out there in the summertime. But just a question off the side. Anything else about the splash pad?
Very exciting.
'Cause
We'll
going-
keep you posted more as construction happens. The next meeting, I can probably give you more of an update on what's actually happening. So,
And probably Next June, we'll all wear our bathing suits and go out there
Grand opening.
Sure.
and push the button or something. Who knows?
Houses around it will be more expensive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, we'll move right along. Guys up next with our parks report.
All righty.
Izzy?
I'll just buzz through this. Still working on Hy-Vee Center. There's still, a few issues here and there that we're working through. Electrical, some of the doors. They had what they call a final review, final tabs report, where they're trying to fine tune the HVAC systems. They found one component that wasn't wired correctly, so it was given a false reading. So hopefully, getting that system to level out. I'm just run through these. Police department, we did some tile work there. We replaced the building has settled a little bit over time, and some of the floor tiling had cracked, so we replaced those. City Hall, quite a list of stuff. Try to go through the big ones. Heating and cooling contractor called back in. We're having problems with the circulation of hot water to the restrooms. It takes so long to get hot water to the sinks, but there's supposed to be a loop, or should have been a loop, that always circulates hot water. So as soon as you turn the hot water on, to wash your hands, it's warm, hot. So they're looking at how they can make that improvement. Let's see.
Is it a tankless hot water?
No,
It's not.
no,
It's weird.
no. But the restrooms are quite a ways away from where the hot water.
Oh, the heat,
Yeah,
hot
so
water heater.
The source.
They pump hot water and just keep circulating, so that line doesn't cool down.
Interesting.
Just some general stuff, scheduled fire sprinkler system inspections, annual elevator inspection certified by the state of Iowa. Those are things that we have to keep up on. Rancho House, Green Iowa, they're like a nonprofit organization. They came in and performed a energy audit for us, just to see where the heat and cooling loss might be. Of course, the old house, the windows and certain areas. So we're going to try making some minor improvements there that might help us out that summer and winter. We're now overseeing the facility generators. That's all city generators. We had to update the emissions log, created a new generators map database, and this was a recommendation from the Iowa DNR recent emissions audit. They come in and do an audit if you have so many generators. So we're working through those items. Moving right along into park operations. We finished up with all of our equipment maintenance that we normally do in the wintertime. We're ready for spring. Hit the ground with good equipment. So we're good there. We did have to clear a bunch of snow at the beginning of the month. That fun little snowstorm that we had. So got that over with, and we took off our snow equipment.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, no more snow.
I heard some other compliments from e-bikers that they rode their bike and the snow was removed and they got to south
good.
of Forever Green Road and snowdrift.
Pat.
They couldn't get through.
Oh yes, yes.
because it's-
Yeah. And
So,
no,
kudos to North Liberty for clearing the trail.
I've mentioned stuff. I've mentioned that to Coralville, and they have, that's their policy. They don't clear trails. So
Wow.
let's see. We have taken advantage of some of our better weather, and we've seeded a lot of areas. Penn Meadows, Owen Skelly infield. That's the baseball field in Penn Meadows. A bunch of seating around Centennial Park, Hy-Vee Center, Main Street property. That's where the fire station is going to get built. And other areas that we damaged over the winter with snowplower equipment. You have to take care of that snowplow blight, So that's taken care of now. We finished seeding yesterday, and just in time for all this rain, so hopefully it will take right off. We have been clearing out some of our fence lines, like around the Public Works area. We have a fencing complex, and over time that stuff weaves through it and grows into it, so we've cleared that out. And we did the same over at Penn Meadows Park, right behind Frog Hollow. If you get a chance, I don't know if you can't see my pictures. There's a pretty good before and after. It's there on the bottom.
Wow.
So that's, yeah, that's what it used to look like, and that's what it looks like now. But those trees are here.
I rode through there.
We think those cedars were planted
Yeah.
back in the 60s.
Really?
Yeah, because we looked back at some old aerial photos, and those trees were there. They've been there a while.
Yeah, I know that opens that up, so it gives fresh air through there
Yeah.
too, I think. But, yeah,
So those are the kind of things we like to do when,
monster trimmer, hedge trimmer.
yeah, no, yeah, big
Call it
monster.
a raised brush hog.
Yeah, exactly. It's a boom mower. Yeah. So those are some of the things we like to tackle before we get really busy into our upcoming season. Let's see what else here. If you've noticed, we've done some spring landscaping work on our roundabouts, our streetscapes, around our building sites. We just kind of tidy up everything, cut down some plants that shouldn't be cut down before winter. There are certain plants that can be cut down before winter and some that can't, so we're taking care of those right now. Another good picture in there is the prairie burn. We burn off the bioswale at Centennial Park. It really helps with keeping the invasives out because the prairies, they love prairie. When things burn, it just rejuvenates things and it will come up really, 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 really green and nice. We also did out at Goose Lake, some of the wetland area out there. This is our second time of doing that. Trying to get ahead of some of the invasives out there as well. We hit perfect weather that day. Wind was in the perfect direction. Everything worked out great, so couldn't complain on that. And ball season has begun. So my crew's been out there getting fields ready. That the NLCBS, the ball league, the club for the town. They met last weekend. They did a huge cleanup, picked up all the leaves that get collected into the fence line. Just getting fields ready. Our first tournament was supposed to be this weekend, but it got canceled. I kind of had a feeling because it is Easter weekend. So that one got canceled, but we have every weekend's full of tournaments.
Oh.
So, yep. And then, of course, the weekly NLCBS, the town league, we'll practice and start playing as well. Let's see, on March 20th, the DNR came out to Liberty Center Pond. They come out twice a year, stock 2,000 trout.
2,000?
Yeah, 2,000.
But there were enough guys around there trying to catch them that it probably is only 100 now. Did you see him out there?
Is that an actual catch?
Yeah, that's an actual catch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was crazy.
Now, they're not all that size. They put three or four of those in that size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that that's real good sportsmanship. You know, that they put the fish in and there's a guy on the other side going.
Well, that's what it's an opportunity for for fishing. That's what when you pay your trout stamp, you have to buy a trout stamp and a fishing license, and that's what pays for trout stocking.
Okay.
And we just are lucky to have the program here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not complaining.
And
It was more joking.
it's really kind of cool. I mean,
Oh, yeah, we get to fish for trout.
The kids love it.
yeah,
Neat.
exactly.
It's neat to see kids fishing.
Yeah.
Just like going out with their friends
Yeah.
and
So once the water gets above 68 degrees, 70 degrees, that's when it's lethal for trout. So we don't. Yeah. So we want them fished
want 'em
out.
caught
Yeah.
first.
Yep. And of course, we've had a lot of planning and administration this month. I've attended meetings with Shive Hattery, our engineering, and staff regarding the new firehouse project that we're planning, Parks and Water Department, future expansion projects. I think I mentioned last time, the expansion on the parks, expansion on the water department is maintenance facility. However, once we get ours built, hopefully this summer, that's when the fire department, they're going to move down into those facilities. they're going to tear down the fire department then, so they can have a fresh, clean slate there. But they needed a place to put all the fire trucks, so that's why we're going to get our expansion. We've been planning expansions for quite a while, but we decided that might be in the best interest to build those and let the fire department have them for 18 months. Of course, we've talked about the splash pad, but we've had a lot of planning meetings and bid openings for the splash pad. Also attended the Jasper Avenue and Forever Green Road roundabout. Was supposed to start today, but of course, or yesterday. Supposed to start yesterday, but of course, all this rain and everything.
Wait, where's
There's
Jasper?
signs out there.
Quick
Yeah.
Star.
And Quick Start all the way over
Forever
there.
Green Road
by
in
Tiffin.
Jasper.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a pretty quick turnaround on that, so
That is so
hopefully by
crazy.
fall it's going to be usable.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Tiffin and Corville link.
Yeah, so we get involved because all that landscaping and stuff, we have a lot of input and request of what all goes in there for landscaping material.
Well, and there's a plan for a trail at some
Yeah, I'm gonna
point.
say
Oh, yeah.
how soon about
Trailer.
that.
That's one thing that I've been promoting.
Right, because
trying to-
that would be great to get
Oh,
those
yeah.
bikes off of the.
We
yeah,
want to make that
yeah.
connection between North Liberty and Tiffin.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yep.
And that where they're putting that roundabout in, if I'm thinking of this right, isn't there like a gigantic, I don't know if it's electrical or whatever, is the roundabout, are we moving that or is it literally going around that?
Good question. I
It's
heard
so
that
big,
was.
I thought they might design
The
it
dot on
around
the
it.
map I saw, it ends up on the left side. So
Oh,
the
really?
roundabout goes that far off
Over.
Right.
that direction. That pole will be on the
Left side.
On the left side instead of the
Oh, it's
right
that
side.
far.
Doesn't it
And
go
there
down?
would be
It
no
goes like
trees in the
this.
roundabout
down
because the
like an
power
oval
line would be
about
going across.
Instead of round.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a big conversation everywhere, but the presentation that was online had the red dot on the, and said that
Interesting.
was on the left side. So it's going to be interesting how that works.
But they have a traffic control plan for every stage of that, so you can still navigate around.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be,
Much.
Yeah, that's going to
We'll
be
get some
a
more.
much used
Yes.
intersection.
but the picture, it's a pretty picture
Yeah.
that you're going to decorate it with,
Right.
so.
Of course, we've been, Shelley and Rec, we've been attending Shive Hattery meetings and with staff regarding the upcoming rec center parking lot project. That's coming up here real soon. So it's on the north and west side of the rec center and library.
I always say east and west sides.
East
of
and
the
west.
center. Yeah,
Do you?
because in the whole north parking lot will be available and the south lot will be available.
Yeah.
So I always say it's the east and west side
All right.
are what we're working on right now.
Yeah, what we're currently. However, we're going to have some work done on the backside, and the trail's going to get reconfigured coming up from the trail, tying into the rec center.
Nice.
Kind of tying in the Rancho House property with the
Yeah.
community center property, and then from Cherry Street up to current sidewalks by the building, there's going to be another sidewalk angle. There's also going to be new sidewalk or trail from the existing trail, which is on the east side of the property up to the building.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a speed bump from the library entrance to
Yes.
across the?
Two
Okay.
speed
table.
bump.
Two? Oh, good.
Speed table.
Okay, so it's going to come up and then flatten out and then go down?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that is a really
two of 'em.
dangerous.
Yeah.
People zip through there.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kids running. Yeah.
We decided to go to the speed table just because of snow removal. If you had a speed hump, you
Okay.
wouldn't be able to make.
All right. I think
snow
you've said
removal
that
work.
once before.
Let's see. Some of this is stuff that's, gee whiz. This. We've
You got crowd control.
Yeah, I know. Crowd control at Centennial Park. We've had some meetings regarding how we're going to navigate our whole season of events out there. How we're going to do parking, which events are going to require parking with the entire park, and which events are going to just require parking parking lot and maybe side the road. So we're looking at roping off all the way around the parameter on the road so people can nose in 30 feet, but still keep them out of the access to the park. So I'm trying to determine which events are going to require what type of parking, which requires what type of staff we have to have on hand. So
that's staff that you have to provide.
yeah, for parking. Yep. Yep. So I think we have 9? We have 10 events out there. Pretty good size events this summer already. So those are extra things that we haven't had in the past. Let's see. We're still recruiting seasonal employees. Up until a couple weeks ago, we only had about 5 hired. I think we're at 7, and we have 3 that are onboarding. We've interviewed 3. 2 have accepted, so we're getting pretty close to our 15 that we're going to need for the season. We have a couple more interviews coming up, but I think we're gonna hit our quota.
Good.
On employees. Let's see here. To finish up, the city was awarded the Arbor Day Foundation Tree City USA designation. This is our 31st consecutive year of receiving that award. We had to meet certain requirements to make that happen. Along with that, we were awarded a tree grant from Mid-American Trees Please, which it's a minor grant, but we've gotten it every year we've applied for it. So
Good.
we're going to take that money and plant some trees out at Centennial Park to start filling in a little more out there. So of that, any questions you might want to ask of me?
Anything else for Guy?
I don't.
I think you're keeping busy enough? I don't know.
Yep, we have been keeping very, very busy.
And was Tim take the pictures?
The crew, they help me out quite a bit, and they snap pictures.
They know it'd be a good
Get
photo.
photos.
Yeah, if it's worthy of a photo, take it.
That's
So,
good.
I only use a fraction of what they send me, so.
Now, it's too bad we can't put them up on a screen or something while we're at our meetings. They are on a city site. I know they go, of course, the same report goes to the city council,
Yes,
I
it
think,
does.
doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
We were at the reservoir and we did see a beaver. We just wondered if it was the relocated beaver from Beaver. I just wanted to
knows?
tell you, we saw him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Pretty soon you'll be wearing body cam to show.
we get calls like that frequent. People who live close to the creek or a pond, one day they wake up and their trees are all cut down in their backyard.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. So we go out there and we live trap them, and then we take them to a new home.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. Lots of duties. Anything else? Well, then we'll move along to Shelley and the Rec Center report.
All right. Good evening, everyone. A little bit new on my monthly report at the beginning. I'm going to kind of do an update section, as you'll see there. Just with a lot of our reporting seems past tense, the month before. So we have a lot of stuff, like Guy says, coming up that will keep us busy. So I kind of created this update section. First thing there is summer activity guide is out to the public right now, and registration begins on Monday the 6th and 8th for non-residents, especially for swim lessons. Those are the 2 different dates. Other programs might all start on the 6th, but summer swim lessons is a big one, and so we do have the 2 different dates, April 6th for residents, April 8th for non-residents for summer swim lessons. Ashley has started offering swim lesson scholarships. We had a Isaiah Grimes Memorial Fund that donated some money. He loved swimming and water, and so they wanted us to use and create this scholarship program, and so Ashley finally has kicked that off. So I'll probably report more on that as we continue to start that new offering.
Meaning those are free, less offered.
Yeah,
Lessons
there's
are
a
offered
form
free.
that they have to fill out to be then awarded the scholarship money to go towards swim lessons, yes.
Is that something where when those funds sort of are depleted, then that kind of ends, or is that something we're committed to keeping year to year?
Right now, we just have the amount that was donated. Ashley, I think, is looking at other opportunities on how can we keep it going or do fundraising to put more money in every year.
Sure.
So we're looking at, but right now we just have the funds that was donated on that memorial fund. Next thing on there is, like Guy said, the east and west parking lot. That is a capital project that will begin soon. It will impact the entire summer season of the community center, library, Rancho House, everything we have going on, you know, close to the recreation center. Partial lots, parking spaces will be limited and changing as the work progresses from east side to west side, et cetera. So just another reminder, if you can look for alternative ways to get to the rec center, community center, pool, et cetera, library, this is the summer to dive into those, with the parking lot being under construction on the east and west sides. Like I said, we'll continue to have some parking, the north and south sides, as they work on entry points.
Bike to the pool, do we have plenty of bike racks?
Plenty of bike racks, yeah. And we'll even think about maybe getting more. Yeah. So I just want to bring that up to everybody's attention. That is something that we're going to work on. And again, depending on how it goes, I know staff, you know, we've always put in our minds, do we have to pivot and maybe move an event to a different location? We might consider that. But we're just going to see how it goes and see if we have to pivot or not. So more to follow on that. Other thing I wanted to mention was just upcoming events. We have the Bunny Clue Trail and egg coloring this Saturday, April 4th. We have the Community Center Open House coming up on April 8th. Spring Shed Hunt and Muddy Creek Cleanup is scheduled for April 11th. A Swim Safety Day, April 19th. And we have a couple new senior sing-alongs scheduled, one in April, one in May. Just a few new things coming up that did not get into the activity guide and or coming up before, you know, this weekend, et cetera. So just wanted to kind of provide that update information. Rest of the report is pretty similar to my past reports. Just enrollment information of past programs. Trying to think if there's anything. We did have a fluid running aqua class that Ashley had in the pool area, indoor pool area, that had 5 enrollees, and I think she's going to do some more. So that's just, again, another new avenue that we're pursuing. At the end of the month of March, we did hold the underwater egg hunt. We had 2 divisions and about 57 to 60 participants in each age category, so about a total of 115 participants in those 2 divisions. In the month of March, we did have Saturday swim lesson sessions start up. It was just for the lower 1 through 4 levels, but it is just another session that Ashley was able to fit into the schedule of the indoor pool, along with other swim lessons taking place. Let's see. Jonathan did a good job with his Pee Wee baseball. Had about 47 participants in that. Offered some spring break mixers, but they didn't go due to a lack of enrollment, but at least he offered them.
What was it supposed to, like a mixer, like a
Different sports type
just kind of okay.
during like a 4-day offering, and just mix it up a little bit with different sport interests.
I think he got some of the Pee Wee ones to go, but not the school-aged ones didn't go.
So we'll keep trying. That's one thing we do. We try and offer it. If it goes, great. If it doesn't, revamp. Maybe the day didn't work, maybe the time didn't work, and then try it again. Before and after school program was big during the month of March was spring break week. Having that, we had a couple all days, so you can see the numbers there. As far as that program continues to be a strong one and very well welcomed by the community. Let's see. Anything else? We did have the Chinese calligraphy class was something new. We had Tai Chi for kids. We at least offered again. Didn't get a lot of interest, but again, just new items that we're trying to offer to the community and see if they'll take hold. For the 4 dates in March, we did have 128 meals that we served to the senior luncheons for those 4 dates. So continue to get a pretty much average between 35 to 40 per date. So during the month of March, we did have the Optimist Pancake Breakfast, and also the that was just another community event that's held at the Recreation Center. Continues to be a good turnout. 2 new items. Matt Messick worked with the Forever Green Nursery on the Container Garden Made Easy and the Plan Your Landscape, and had good turnouts for those 2 programs. And then we have a Maintaining Modern Cars. This was the second time we've done that contract individual, and last time we had about, I would say, 15 or so participants. We only had 2, but again, it's something that he'll offer just as something totally different than our normal sports programming. Indoor pool season just continues with lap swimmers, aqua fitness classes, and swim lessons. We did have on the outdoor pool, you may or may not have driven by when they were doing outdoor concrete work of the outdoor pool. There were sections of the concrete wall that needed to be cut out and removed and re-concreted due to, again, the age of the facility. These are things that we're experiencing. So the concrete guys came in, re-concreted the certain areas, and then we are now having a contractor coming in to do the caulking and repainting in preparation for outdoor pool season. Ashley's been busy with applications, interviews, hiring for all the summer operations. She's got it pretty much down pat, and they do a great job of getting the individuals we need to operate the outdoor pool. Rest of the information pretty much is normal, just revenue sharing information. I don't have anything else that I can think of, and I'm open to any questions you might have.
A busy place. I'm always amazed when I look at that revenue figure, you know. It's busy and then it's busy. Yeah.
Did we, the issue we had in the indoor pool with the ceiling, whatever they were called?
The acoustical panels?
Yeah, has that been remedied? Did we get
It has not been remedied. We've put that on hold because one of the capital projects coming up is redoing the pool locker rooms, kind of similar to how we did the rec locker rooms. Right now, in the pool locker rooms, it's just the cinder block walls and paint, and we've repainted, and it just, again, with age, does not look good, so we're going to have that as a capital project to get those retiled like we did on the rec side. Go with tiling and just get them updated. And because of that, we're going to hold off on the acoustical panels and do it hopefully at the same time. So there's only one closure versus multiple closures. So that, it's in the works. We have a plan for it. It's just holding off and maybe doing it combined.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anything else? All the basketball over, Brian, or?
Yep, all the basketball's over. Now we're into baseball season.
Now baseball.
We probably take in, I don't know, probably $50,000 in baseball rentals just for tournaments. That's not anybody that's renting the fields as a team. So just tournament income alone for the season, it'll probably be around $50,000. So thereabouts. Like I said, that's without anything really counting the Skelly Field or any rentals at Kosher or Quail. So
For the tournaments, does the city get any percentage of concessions, or is that privately?
NLCBS does all the concessions.
They do.
So they take in the money and get that. So we used to let the groups renting the fields go in and use our concession stand, but then NLCBS had to take all their stuff out and then put all their stuff in on that Monday. So
for the
that seemed to be a
facility
pain.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I can see.
So now NLCBS just does it, and they do just like
Got
they
that
would during
consistent.
the week, but they do it on the weekends and probably do a pretty good job. And
Yeah.
it's probably good to go back into their coffer and make some money there. So
Okay.
yeah.
We're kind of
They
a
rent,
central
but they're
hub.
renting the facility, correct?
NLCBS is not.
NLCBS is not.
We partner with them.
Okay.
The actual concession stand, they paid for half of that,
Okay, okay.
like $250.
I just was trying to figure out, so that's separate. I know that I should know this, but I don't.
And for that, North Liberty, what is it? Community baseball?
North
What's
Liberty
their actual
baseball,
title?
softball.
That's what,
Yep.
in LCBS.
Corville.
Corville, yeah.
NLC, Corville.
Yeah. Well, Tiffin is in there too, but I don't think they have a letter yet.
didn't give
Yeah,
it a T.
okay, North Liberty Golden.
I don't think we've created a word for that yet, so.
What a hidden hub we are here. I mean, you look at the cars from all different counties are parked here for
Well, you think,
tournaments.
you think of the numbers like going to the Palestra and then
Yeah.
eventually out there at
And
the facility out there and then the Ball Diamonds. I mean, the amount of people that come into this town is,
we're a
Crazy,
we're a hub, and what that brings to the businesses in
Yeah.
town.
and it is a pain during the time they're here because of parking and stuff like that. But the amount of money they have to spend coming here is what all communities want. So,
Good to see families and kids out there, doing outdoor activities.
The designation.
Yeah.
The open house is done once a year, or once in spring and once in the fall?
just once a year.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
So over the past few years, do you see after the open house, the increase of membership, or?
In past years, what we've done is if you came in, you got a percentage off even if you had a membership. This year, we kind of changed it to you can't have a membership and you come in and we give you 20% off a annual membership of a new one that you get. So we're kind of tweaking it a little bit this year because some people were just coming in, getting the little slip and then walking out. So they didn't really come to the open house for the right reason, I guess I would say. So we're trying to encourage people to come in. They can still get their 20% off, but they can't have a pass right now. So they would be getting a new pass. So
And these are the things that, they're publicized and all, but again, if you have got friends and neighbors, new people in the community, let them know what's going on. This is a great opportunity for, if you have new neighbors, to send them down to the rec center 4:30 to 6:30 next Wednesday for them to check things out. I think you're used to about every day you have people coming in to, so we have new people coming to town, new families. Anything else for Shelley? You went over all the upcoming things, I think.
Yeah, we did go in the packet itself. You'd see the flyer attachments that were all part of that. And again, the packet information was available to the public too. So if you get questions, you can always refer them to the packet information if they're trying to look at some of the information that we've discussed. But yeah, all the flyers are there on
Right.
those upcoming events that we just mentioned.
We can hand these to our new neighbors and
Yes.
be ambassadors. Yeah. Okay. So we talked about the creek cleanup. So we have an organization, does the Scouts or something kind of
Yeah,
specifically
we
help
asked
with that?
The Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and now the 4-H Castle, Green Castle 4-H Clover kids. They come out and help. So
And it's amazing how much stuff you get.
yeah, so we normally make it from the rec center, or basically up from Penn Street, down to Gulfview Drive. That's about, and the Boy Scouts will normally go to the south and work their way to the north from Forever Green Road this way. So we try to cover that whole section the best we can.
And a good rain today will wash a lot of stuff into the creek. That'll be there, be there for you. Okay, we have anything else? Any old business?
I just want to remind everybody that North Liberty, the high school is having a fundraiser this weekend at 8 o'clock. And so make sure that.
Pancakes?
Pancakes. I mean, who doesn't love a pancake? Anyway, and I think tickets are $12 a person or something like that, yeah. Saturday, starts at 8.
Anything else? Looks like our next meeting is scheduled for May 7th.
Okay.
First Thursday of the month. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move.
I'll second.
You had a motion and a second. Any objection to adjournment? Meeting adjourned.